This is your shoulder line. The first thing you want to do in order to create balance in your shoulders so that it falls, that it moves, that it follows the line of your body and the crease of your arm, is you start right here with the shoulder line. It's not like, I see some of these things because we also have a company called Fit Branding USA, and we work with designers and manufacturers on finding their target market, identifying who their customer is, and then fitting their clothes. And even with designers, I see designers who looks like they just said, oh, well, let me start with the hip line and see if that thing works, and then I'll work on up to the shoulders, and then maybe I can do the bust darts, and it gets all wacko. So the way that we really can only work is you start with the balance of your pattern at the shoulder. Okay, anybody have any questions right now? So far, so good. Okay, so this is the shoulder of your jacket. The front meets the back, pretty simple, right? Yeah, front meets the back, and you would not believe how many designers say, oh, I have a huge return rate because my collar slipped back. Your collar slips back because you need to add more fabric to the back in order to address the movement in your shoulder. You only have three things to worry about. You have the movement in your shoulder, you have the attitude of the fabric that's never going to change, and you have you who can pinch and pull. And so what we do on this shoulder line is very, very simple. We take the fabric and we just elongate the back, and we put it right a little bit forward on the shoulder line. And that will almost keep your fabric, your blouses, jackets, coats, whatever, from slipping back, but not quite. What we do to really allow for this movement that you have in your shoulder, you're going to stretch, you're going to pull, you're going to hug. How is this fabric supposed to move? It has a mind of its own, remember? So what we want to do is we want to give it a little bounce. And the only way that we can make this fabric bounce so that it will move is we add, 3/8 of an inch to the back. And that accommodates the roundness of the shoulder, the movement in the shoulder, and then we press it out. So the back, instead of being the same size as the front, is now 3/8 of an inch larger in the back than it is in the front. And we have a little slice. Do we have a picture of the slice, Max? A little slice in the back of the pattern piece just to give it that extra little bounce that actually presses out when you press your fabric, and no one can see it, but what will happen is you just have a little movement area. And that's the only reason why your collar slipped back. Bring your shoulder pad, bring your shoulder seam forward. Match the line of your shoulder. Add a little to the back, and you will see a jacket that begins to fall. This is the very, very beginning of your balance. On silks and lightweight fabrics, if your collar slipped back, be sure you bring that line forward. Make sure you have a little bit of ease on the back of the shoulder for the movement, and that blouse will not slip forward.